Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're not wasting any time. We're getting right into it. Patch 2.0. Patch notes have been dropped. 16 pages of patch notes dropped in the middle of the night, man. So drop a like on the videos, get right into it. We got everything from general to gameplay to City of MyCareer, MyTeam, and then MyNBA. We are going to focus on the gameplay because I think that is the most important thing here. But if you want the full patch notes, they're on Twitter, they're in the Discord. Y'all can check them out. All right, gameplay patch notes. We got 2 pages of this. The first thing, made various adjustments to reduce the effectiveness of pass steals. Talking about passing lanes, including toning down unrealistic catches when close to the passer and blind catches facing the wrong way. So I think what they're talking about is kind of like those speed boost launch animations sometimes when it comes to passing lanes. And then also, like, if I'm 1 foot in front of you and you throw a pass and I click steal, I just like unrealistic reaction time to just go up and catch it, you know what I mean? So patching some of the stuff people have been complaining about. That's when it comes to passing lanes, but let's move on. Improved shot contest logic for more reliable coverage scores for both perimeter and interior defense. Hand down situations will no longer register as tight. Open shots received a slight buff to maintain balance. So a lot in here. This is probably the most important little paragraph you're gonna see. So let's talk about this for a second. All right, so let's start at the top. Improved shot contest logic for more reliable coverage scores for both perimeter and interior defense. I think majority of people would agree this is a change that was needed. I think sometimes it's like, it just felt like everything was open, and whether your hand was up or not, and that's something we're gonna talk about in a second, the hand down situations, it just like, something was off there with the shot contest. So hopefully the improved shot contest logic that they're talking about doesn't go too far in the other direction where it's like everything is smothered and there's like ghost contests and all that stuff we've dealt with in past 2Ks. So hopefully there is a balance there, but as we've seen in past 2Ks, sometimes it's like they'll try to correct something and it'll go way too far in the other direction. We'll have to wait and see, obviously, once we start playing the game for a little bit after this patch. But improved shot contest logic, I think everyone would mainly agree that that is something that needed to be addressed. Next up, hand down situations will no longer register as tight. On this game that we've been playing for whatever it's been, about a month or a month and a half now, if you play the game, you know, basically putting your hand up doesn't even do anything. It got to the point when we were playing Comp Pro-Am and, you know, we're actually like sweating and we're locked in, we started to try to remind each other, like, don't even worry about pushing your right stick up to contest. Especially on a jump shot, like just run into what I call the hit box, like right in front of them. They're gonna tone down that contest. How does that work out? We'll have to see, because one thing I know about 2K when it comes to patches is a lot of times they try to fix one thing and it breaks something else. So we'll see how that shot contest change affects the game. That's one of the most important things in all of these patch notes that we're gonna see. And then the second thing in here that they said right here, open shots received a slight buff to maintain balance. So I'm assuming, we were talking about this while we were just playing. I just got done grinding some rep. And there was a little confusion about this, but I'm assuming it is what it says. Open shots received a slight buff to maintain balance, meaning it's gonna be easier to shoot open shots. That's a big change. That's a big change. Is it good? Is it bad? Drop it. Tell me in the comments. Do you like that, or do you want it to maintain the way it is? I think the community is going to be split on that, believe it or not. I think the community is going to be split on that. Let's keep going. Improved responsiveness when dribbling or shooting with the pro stick, and also reduce delays with catch and shoot. So one thing they're reducing is the delay in dribbling. That's a W. That's going to be nice to be a bit more responsive. And then they're also fixing when you shoot with the rhythm shooting with the stick, sometimes there's a delay going from the catch into the shot. They're saying they're fixing that. So those both sound good. Fixed an exploit that made low post fades overly effective. I talked about this in my last news video. People have been abusing basically close shot post fades where you could just green tightly contested close shot post fades. Fixing that. That's good. Repaired some dribble move branches, including the 720 spin glitch and unwanted double hesitation moves from triple threat. So it sounds like the spin that Steezo posted, not the spin back, but the one where you spin like, it sounds like they patched that. Standing floaters will now properly use the close shot rating, while driving floaters will use a weighted average of the higher between, use a weighted average of the higher between layup and close shot. I feel like that's a weird way to word it. So it's like a weighted average, but it takes into account the higher rating more than the other one. That's a weird way to word it. But anyways, that's just for floaters. Not really. I haven't seen a lot of people doing floaters this year. Y'all doing floaters? Restricted post spin shots to live dribble situations to prevent double dribble violation, and fixed an unrelated issue that allowed double dribbles to occur in the post without a violation being called. Why does the post game always have so many bugs in it every year? A slight nerf was made to deep post drop step effectiveness. Falling face down landings will now only trigger when from behind. Yeah, that didn't really make sense. Sometimes you would contest somebody in front of you and they would fall flat on their chest. That didn't make any sense. Tuned catch collisions to improve animation coverage and have them play in more appropriate situations. Improve the ball attachment logic, particularly when starting a dunk or layup mid dribble. Ball attachment logic? The real question is, are they going to patch the fact that a defender could be 3 feet behind you when you go up for a layup or a dunk and they just make the ball come out of your hands? Like, they're not even close to you and it just gets the animation, your player just loses the ball. Are they going to patch that? That's the real question. I hope to see that in here because that's something that's just like, I mean, I use it on defense too when I get beat. And every time I do it, I'm like, man, that is terrible. I feel bad for that dude because he just outplayed me and then I just get rewarded for being out of position. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Added support to scale takeover meter progress differently for short quarters and modes without a game clock, such as Triple Threat MyTeam. Okay, so it sounds like they're making it easier to get takeover in modes that are like shorter game modes, like park games and stuff. Is that right? Fixed an issue where the 2K camera would flip, would get confused on the direction play, turnover happened immediately after a rebound. Okay. Manually selected defensive matchups will no longer reset after a timeout is called. Okay, that's good for Pro-Am. Adjusted one of Jordan Clarkson's step back jumpers to prevent unrealistic initial dribble speed. Wait, Jordan Clarkson's step back. Are they talking about hop jumper? Because if they passed a little like glitchy, like side to side Jordan Clarkson thing, no, but that would be a hop jumper, not a step back. All right, so maybe they didn't patch the little glitchy like Jordan Clarkson thing. Makes the ball teleport to the other hand. Some of y'all might know. I'm not sure if y'all know. Updated Devin Booker's post shimmy fade package. Changed Mark Williams' signature jump shot to be valid for big men only. Your player will now break out of a go-to shot if moved too far from the shot marker in certain drills. Fixed an issue that made self alley-oops more difficult in dunk contests. Fixed a scoring bug in dunk contests that would incorrectly award points on missed dunks. Now, when it comes to the general patch notes and city Pro-Am, all this stuff, it's mainly like quality of life stuff, right? Like many improvements to performance, stability, and visuals have been made to enhance the overall experience to the city. Several changes have been made to resolve stability and connection issues in street ball. Stuff about the menu. Like if you guys want to go through all this, like I said, it is on Twitter. But one thing I noticed, this should make y'all happy. Earning hot zones in the drill with lethal shooter has been made easier. So it'll be easier to get your lethal zones. So that's a W. But there's a lot of quality of life stuff and patch notes and things y'all could check out. But let me just talk about the patch for a second. First thing, like I said earlier, typically with 2K, when they try to fix one thing, it tends to break something else. So hopefully that's not the case here. You got to realize there's a yin and a yang. There's a give and a take to everything that's in this patch and all the stuff that like you might be asking for other things to be patched, and there's always a yin and a yang. You got to think about the compound effect on the game. And I'm not saying it's good or bad or we should, we should be buffing shooting, we shouldn't be buffing shooting, we should be buffing contest, we shouldn't be. I'm just saying, it's like anytime I talk about these things, it's like it's never just a yes or no answer. It's like there's so many layers to it you got to really unpack before you really make, decide what side of the fence you're on type of thing. But listen, overall, the quality of life stuff being improved is always a W. And then, of course, the improved responsiveness and, fixing some of the glitches in the gameplay and things like that. Hopefully, the patch overall is a W, man. But if you want to check out the best jump shots on NBA 2K25, click that video on the screen. It will help you shoot. I guarantee it, regardless of your build.